What it do, homies? We are continuing our Kane Pixels Backrooms playlist. So we have landed on home 27647, and what we're gonna do is continue all throughout the rest of these, and then we're gonna end on the Backrooms found footage, and then I'm gonna leave that as a single reaction because that one is 45 minutes long. So let's go ahead and continue and shut up and turn it up. Oh, didn't change the background. Oh well. It's a Discord background. Ignore that. You know, Kane does a very good job at really capturing the era and time of his music production. Is that his face is overlaid, but I can't quite make it out. Huh. Looks like a face. Feel like there might be some like hidden clues in here or something. It's TV here. One of the episodes has something playing on the TV, you know, and knowing that all of this for the most part is by design. This room just seems like it doesn't matter, but this TV is just faces out again. A lot of water activities, fishing, bridges, boats. Oh, I remember this photo. Was that in wait a minute, wasn't one of them traversing through one of these rooms and we saw that photo? I just can't remember which video it was in. What if this house or this family, right, is taking place like this? Because we saw kind of like the infographic of what the government or, you know, that company planned to market the Backrooms as living quarters, storage and everything. So what if this is a house that takes place in the Backrooms? Because we saw this photo right here. I was wondering what they were zooming into, and then yeah, one of them saw that. Okay. And that TV, yeah, definitely, maybe. Yeah, for sure. I might have missed out on some other stuff too as well, but y'all let me know that down in the comments. All right, we're gonna keep moving. You and about the whole TV mess. One thing, and I'm not sure if other people do this, but especially if you're a gamer, you ever wonder, or not wonder, but when you playing those video games and then you do like the linear one, right? I'm thinking of Final Fantasy 12 right now, and then it's like you're on this linear path. And I got a point here, but you're on this linear path, but do you see all this extra open space, right? I always, and I do this in God of War Ragnarok game too, which I'm currently playing through, is like any of that open space, I got to go look at it because I feel like, you know, we are looking at what the creator wants us to look at. So that means there's no way that this just exists over here for no reason. It's gotta be a reason, right? So when they were showing us that hallway, I couldn't make anything out of it, right? But I do see that TV right there. And since I know that it was made for me to be seen this way, you know what I mean? There's got to be something there that I need to be paying attention to. So that's why I was thinking about the TV. Now, it might not be that way, but I be thinking about that sometimes. And that's also what leads me down very dangerous and wrong paths sometimes. But that's the fun of it, right? I wonder if his budget picks up as these start gaining in popularity, hire more actors, get some more help. He's done a great job by himself. But these things happen. I mean, he's doing like a movie now, ain't he? Or he got hired for something like that. Yeah, see, this is all CG. 1990. I said that maybe, with that painting, that maybe it was a house built in the Backrooms already, but I'm not going to dismiss the fact that those random time warping gate things just pop up out of nowhere, like what happened with that car on that freeway. So it's very possible whole neighborhoods could just disappear into the back rooms. As we seen that one thing that would look like it was nighttime, I had like a whole city block, whole block.
Enough room to unpack over there.
Okay, sounds good.
Can you loosen that strap?
About to put down a Wally or something.
At the very least, I think 7 trips that way, I think. You should have forklifts on, can you?
Watch your hand.
Yeah, we're just assembling now.
That makes sense.
And then you're going to want to stop up here and just a few to the right.
Carry on forward and head into that gap over on the left.
Trying to figure out why they calling this reunion. Who they gonna meet up with?
Is that really what he said? I don't think he has a full understanding of the situation.
Oh, I doubt he knows either, but I think that matters.
And here we are. Wall. Watch the wall.
I am surprised with how well this is holding out.
Oh, I see. The pitfalls.
Good standing.
Hey, don't get too close. Stop. Stop.
Yeah, it was locking.
Okay, so the interesting. I mean, the guy fell down, right? And I assume they helped him back up. But I guess they. What about the guy who made it across?
Standard, this is Clyde. We've reached room 14D. We're now just about to initiate the equilibrium stimulus test.
That's still good.
The last one came back good, but I recommend you keep a mask on just to be safe.
We gotta start updating our protection system. I feel like I'm always missing things in this mess.
That's how I feel. These videos, and then y'all point out the obvious to me.
I haven't driven it back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll just conserve some power and then put it back in the cart when they get here.
Hey team, this is Mark. You copy? Copy, reach 11th. We've just reached 14D. There are no visible signs of Marvin's friend.
That is absolutely not the name we're going with.
Well, then you better start working on a new one. This one isn't a better view. Remote now.
Gonna construct boards over it.
And these ones are all fairly even, right? You just have to go on that one. Just focus on going down center and around those 2 points of interest. I believe the car sheets will suffice for today. Alright, well, that's good to hear. Are you ready to start sending people down? I know we don't have that many hours left before we need to start revamping.
That's an illusion, right? That's interesting. That wasn't like that before.
Yeah, through the protocols. We need to double check again on 1, 2, 5, 7, 3 as well. Hey, can I get a hand over here?
Yeah, making it safe to walk over. Supposed to walk away across the room. Marvel Lane camera conducting initial layout analysis of 14C, which must be the room next, the room over there, right? Which I don't think we got a chance to see, right? Because Pitfall's guy fell in. He had that experience with that anomaly or whatever it is.
Is this the same one they had you practice with?
Pretty similar, but they were just renting that one. Same one as far as I'm concerned, though. Not like I know the difference.
Wouldn't want to be on the other end of that.
They got
You
the
wouldn't want
pump.
to be on the other end of any gun, Marvin.
Yeah, that's probably true.
They got the pump.
Alright, get your lights on.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Standard, this is Mark. We're now beginning our progression into room 14C.
Okay, so this is the room across the
Alright,
pitfalls.
so we're going to want to stay mostly down the middle, but maybe go around one or two just to make sure we're not missing anything.
Yeah. Good damn thing, this mouse.
I don't know. Okay, yeah, floor's different. Looks like concrete, what's it called?
He's gonna get lost.
This stuff they layer over concrete to make it shiny. Epoxy? Yeah, epoxy. It looks like we got standard white drywall with black vinyl trim or wall base. And ceiling looks relatively the same, just tighter, smaller tiles.
It looks like there's another space between the floor types. Huh.
Oh yeah. Guess you can put a tape measure down there again. We got displaced tiles. Yeah. See anything?
No, not really.
Oh, there's a little hole in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a wall back there? A wall? Or can't tell what that is.
Well, it just looks like a wall. Huh.
Watch the gun. Sorry.
Is this just the natural state, or did something move these? Yeah, I'm not sure which one I prefer, but right now I'm kind of leaning towards the former.
Yeah. I believe we've only seen displaced tiles, 4, I think it was 4 times before. Not too common.
This space kind of reminds me of down the stairs, right? I think it was at the trains. Was it the train station in the Wiz? Right? It's just white instead of like yellow with the man eating trash cans and moving columns.
Guys, I found something.
Yeah?
You gotta look at this. What, is it right over there? Yeah, there's some sort of... No, you're right, this looks handmade. You can't determine that just by looking at it. No, I'm just assuming right now. Either way, you're right, it does look like some kind of map.
Yeah. You know, it almost looks like...
I think this is over around here, 14C.
Yeah. Yeah, it's,
Team A, come in, this is Mark.
that's the area we came through. That's 14C, and there's 14D.
Team A, this is Mark, do you copy?
There's B.
I think this probably was made by the other guy that maybe got lost, right? So he was trying to map it out, maybe like map out his location so he can get a bearings. They didn't show. They kind of showed him walking through it until he landed up in the in that little lab, and of course the other people found him coming in. Maybe he's the one who did this.
A.
Standard, do you copy? Repeat, this is Mark, do you copy? No, the signal's dead, we've gone too far. We gotta go back.
What? You sure? We're not that far.
Well, that's all the more reason to get...
Well, if we do get back and they say it's just a non-issue and you just come back around, then I don't see what the... Oh my god!
He's got my gun! He's got my gun! Okay, he's got my gun!
Don't move! Never you move!
Okay, okay!
I don't want to hurt any of you. But I will. If I have to, so please, just don't move. Just answer my questions and I'll be gone. How many people are out here right now? Down the hall, how many people are out here?
Wait,
I don't know.
Peter?
Oh, shit.
Marv? Marvin?
Yes, it's me. Is it really you?
Yeah, it's me. It's me.
How? It's been months. We thought you...
I know. That's what they did. They took my life from me, Marv. Everyone thinks I'm fucking dead. My wife and children think I'm dead.
Can you please put down the gun?
Barbara, just tell me. Did they hold a funeral?
Yes.
This is Team A. Do you read us? Yes, A-Team, this is Mark. I read you.
Mark, don't.
What are you doing?
We need immediate armed
Mark.
support at room 14C.
Stop.
My team and I are being held at gunpoint by a hostile. I repeat,
Stop.
please
Don't
send
shoot him.
immediate armed support to room
Stop.
14C.
Don't.
Sorry.
It's going crazy. Understandably.
I'm alive, but I want you to tell them that I'm alive. I need to know.
Okay, so if I'm remembering things correctly, that's the guy that got separated. While they were walking down, there was three of them. He turned away, and then all of a sudden, like he was in another place, right? See down in the comments. Oh, you know what? I don't want to read that. Never mind. It's going to give me the answers, and I kind of want to figure it out myself. Kind of like the experience that you guys went through before everybody had all the answers and you were trying to piece things together. So I'm not going to read that. Let's just continue. Takes away the fun.
The trade between market and non-market economies. Well, as I've said, that our negotiations in this area with the Soviets are just beginning. Commerce Secretary Peterson returned yesterday from 2 weeks, mostly in Moscow, but also in Warsaw, during which time very considerable progress was made. We're narrowing our differences, which have kept us from settling our Lend-Lease debt for 25 years. And the good faith which the Soviets would demonstrate by settling the debt would set the stage for a presidential order permitting Exim Bank credits for sales to the Soviets. And it would also open the way for a presidential request of the Congress that the United States.
Those green light and everything kind of reminds me of that room that had all the other kind of like floral, not necessarily floral, weird stuff. What it looked like as before somebody was transforming into maybe one of those entities based off the lights and everything. And then this name that I'm trying to work out. Is that a T or a J? Okay, well, we continue. Back. I said I wasn't going to do this, but now it's kind of getting annoying on me. It's okay. Let's keep it pushing. This video is already long enough. It's going to be like a 30-minute video.
Mark, this is Team A. Do you read us?
Yes, A-Team, this is Mark. I read you. What are you doing? We need immediate armed support in room 14C. My team and I are being held at gunpoint by a hostile. I repeat, please send immediate armed support to room 14C.
For that panel, it should connect.
What was that?
know what, man? He might be one of the most valued assets, right? The fact that he got lost and he was able to find his way back. That means he got some knowledge in that head. And obviously, he's in a panic, heightened state and everything. But yeah, he might know some things. Been 3 months, so all of this is new, I suppose. He got some speed on him. He dropped the gun. I don't see it. Looks like he dropped the gun. Why would he do that?
I'd like to thank you all once again for your patience on this. It has been a stressful 15 hours for all of us here, and while he cannot currently be with us, Dr. Beck sends his apologies regarding the numerous inconveniences caused by our decision to keep you here overnight. Now, it appears that the situation has reached a point of some stability. We're still looking into a few things, but I feel that we can now properly address what occurred without running into speculation. What happened last night should not have happened. Not here, not with us. What occurred was a gross misunderstanding that was the result of some severe information mismanagement. Even now, I believe most of you still have an incomplete idea of what took place last night.
Oh, wow. You know, especially when it comes to damage control, I do know that, you know, public perception, not public perception, but perception is the first thing that you want to start altering, right? Because obviously people are going to remember things differently. But just leading off by saying, you know, you already have some incomplete information already kind of sets the stage to allow him to set the narrative about what really happened. But first, they got to dismiss what you're currently thinking. Damage control indeed.
I have an incomplete idea of what took place last night. Before I fill you in, I need to address the fact that there has been information deliberately withheld from many of you on the project. Now, these choices were not made lightly and were done for only the best of reasons. However, I want to make it abundantly clear that following the events of last night, it has been proven to us that that method of conducting ourselves was not viable. So, I'm coming to you now to correct this mistake and begin delivering the authentic order of events as we understand them. On the morning of March 1st, a team of 4 researchers was sent into the complex to conduct a routine layout analysis. George Levy, Marvin Lee, Ronald McCarthy, and Peter Tench. At around 12:25 p.m., the group realized that they had lost track of Tench while traversing a previously accessed branch of hallways.
Okay.
As you'll recall, this prompted an immediate withdrawal of response back to standard, followed by several days of significant search efforts. However, those ultimately yielded nothing, and as far as any of us were concerned, Tench had simply vanished, leaving no physical trace. Now, for obvious reasons, that wasn't something that we could disclose to the public, so roughly 2 weeks following his disappearance, our security team was forced to put together a more acceptable cause of death that would keep attention away from this institute and provide closure to the family. So that is all close to common knowledge, I presume.
That car. The picture of that car. That wasn't a car crash from the one that disappeared off the highway. Did they salvage that car and then say that's how he passed away? Or is just simply saying that, hey, he passed away during our car wreck?
So that is all close to common knowledge, I presume. Not all of you were with us at the time of the incident. However, You're certainly aware of the effects it has had on our internal procedures over the past few months. Regardless, that was where Tench's involvement in this came to an end. Or, at least, that's what we assumed. Because on May 8th at approximately 5:30 p.m., a motion alert was sent out from the complex, which was closed off at the time. One of our senior engineers was sent down to assess the situation and discovered a male dressed in hazard gear who we were able to identify as Peter Tench. Immediately following this discovery, Tench was moved to a secure room on this floor where, over the following days, a select group of doctors were able to administer a panel of tests in order to determine what had happened to Peter.
Yeah, that's right. I was sitting here thinking that, he navigated through everything and whatnot. I forgot that he got captured. Yeah, see, this is what happens when I wait days in between doing the new reactions, but during the weekends, I got other things like pressing, not necessarily pressing, but other things I got to get out and everything. That's right, he was captured. So then it just begs the question as to how he got back in the back rooms. That's where we're at right now. This is serving as kind of like a nice little recap before they release their 44-minute video, just to kind of get us back on track.
Doctors were able to administer a panel of tests in order to determine what had happened to Peter in the 2 months he had been gone. Those tests yielded very little useful information. By all measures, Peter appeared to be in excellent health. However, we were still provided one very useful tool in understanding how the situation unfolded from his perspective. Some of you may recall that on the day of his disappearance, Tench was his team's designated camera operator. Well, when we recovered him, he still had that camera in his possession, and in fact had documented the entire ordeal. The footage will be presented in its entirety later today. However, for the purpose of this discussion, I will only be highlighting key events. This is the hallway where Peter was last seen. They're not in view, but you can hear the others walking behind him. Now, as he approaches the branch on the right here, pay close attention to the audio.
Guys, can you hear this?
Yeah, it sounded like he walked into another dimension or something.
Guys, can you hear this? Hey!
Now, I'd like to save the discussion for afterwards, but what you just saw is what we believe to be the moment that Peter was instantaneously transported 2 months forward in time.
Bro, okay, so, oh my goodness, man. I want to say that I called it. Not, I mean, obviously hindsight, now that we got these videos out, it's kind of like no duh, but I'm watching this as it's unfold. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for those of you that have been with me while watching through this whole thing, that's what I thought, that they were time displacements, or at least he was transferring to different parts of the world. But my first thought was the time, because it looked like that he was in places and things that weren't built before, right? Especially given that they give us the time dates down here. And then as we're watching it, we're like, wait a minute. But in the last video, he saw that as it was being already built. But in this video, they're building it right now. So, okay. Sometimes, okay, all right.
Instantaneously transported 2 months forward in time. Following that abrupt flash you just saw, Tench proceeds back out into the hallway in search of his team, but is without any indication of their presence. The next 30 or so minutes of the tape follow a fairly panicked Tench as he attempts to navigate his way back to the threshold. He does obviously find his way back. However, the threshold appears not as he knows it, but as it appeared on the date of May 8th. And this ties us back to the moment when we recovered him. So,
I understood this.
To summarize, from his point of view, he had only been inside the complex for several hours. So to him, all of the new developments surrounding the threshold were completely foreign. Luckily, though, as I already mentioned, there were people available to manage the situation as it unfolded. And over the course of the following days, we were able to properly sit down with Peter and work with him to gain a collective understanding of what had happened. However, However, there was still the very significant fact that Mr. Tench was considered legally deceased as a result of the cover story, and reversing that would be no easy feat. He understood this and was willing to cooperate while we looked for a way to reintegrate him without raising suspicion. Unfortunately, though, that process ended up taking quite a bit longer than we had anticipated, and all the while Peter was sucked out here waiting idly by. We did our best to keep him engaged, but it is hard to combat the effects of prolonged sensory deprivation on the human brain, and as a result, Peter's mental state took a toll. Not to a degree that was outright concerning at first, but around the end of week 2, we noticed that he was starting to exhibit a number of behaviors common in patients diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, though we don't have reason to believe that Mr. Tench was afflicted with that condition. Whatever the case, while he didn't express it outright, from what we could gather, he appeared to have deluded himself into believing that he was still inside some sort of illusion created by the complex, and that we were secretly looking to do him harm. This all came to a head on the night of the 22nd, when, while Tench was finally about to be transferred to a temporary above-ground residence, he broke away from us and, using stolen credentials, forced his way back into the complex where he would go undiscovered until just last night, when he ambushed and violently attacked Team B in room 14C, leaving Dr. Bloom in critical condition. We can presume that during the 2 or so days Tench spent in the complex, he let go of the idea that he could somehow escape through an alternate threshold, but still held on to the belief that all of us here were working to trap him in some way, despite our actions saying exactly the opposite. Immediately after firing a single shot from the Remington 870 to Dr. Bloom's side, Tench fled the scene and headed to the threshold outpost, where he would turn the weapon on several more of you while progressing into standard and through the lower offices. Given the abrupt and chaotic nature of the unfolding situation, it took our security team several moments longer than it ideally should have to figure out what was happening. But thankfully, while Tench was passing through one of the empty labs next to storage, Dr. Maxwell was able to act quickly and managed to disarm him, accidentally discharging the weapon into the ceiling.
That's why he didn't have the shotgun. Okay.
However, Tench still managed to avoid apprehension, fleeing into the maintenance wing and evading our security staff by taking the...
That was the guy that was doing that long walk, right? That long walk to get to the phone. Yeah, okay.
Fleeing into the maintenance wing and evading our security staff by taking the freight elevator to the surface. Now, this situation could have played out very badly given the potential number of witnesses around the building at the time. But luckily for everyone involved, as far as we can tell, Tench was not noticed as he exited the property. Around 5 minutes later, our security team made it to the ground floor and began a thorough sweep in the direction of the hillside where cameras had last observed Tench. Now, there's no easy way to say this other than to just say it. I am terribly sorry to inform you all, but Mr. Tench was found deceased halfway down the hillside. The result of an extreme blow to the head. It appears that while he was running through some brush, he failed to anticipate a sudden dip in the ground and tragically fell forward into a large rock. Given the circumstances, it was not something any of us could have anticipated or prevented. The tragedy of the entire situation undoubtedly remains, but Dr. Tench, regardless of how troubled he was in his final days, was a brilliant man who gave his all to this project. He would certainly not want us hindering it in his name. What we're doing here is so much bigger than any one person. It is the work of a unified effort, and we need to ensure that that is never lost sight of. That we hold on to the pre-established notion that Peter is, and has been deceased. That is done, and there is nothing more to be extracted.
What was that? They injected him with something? It might have injected him with something to make him go crazy. Justify. Pause. Okay, so just ending on that call, but what if that was Tinch attempting to call his family, right? Yeah, man, ain't no way. That wrapped up a little bit too conveniently. Maybe they gave him something with that needle that made him go crazy, right? That it was all planned because they needed some type of justifiable act of getting rid of him again. Companies have done shadier things. And in that call right there, who knows? That could have been his family. Him trying to call and say, hey, I'm alive. The guy who helped discharge the shotgun from Tinch, right? When he was doing that huge long walk around the building and everything, and he got on, I can't remember what he said, but wasn't he talking about an alert or something like that? Was that after it got discharged? Because otherwise, what's the point of that? I can't remember what he said. I'll have to go back and look at it. But anyways, so let's see if I can do the reaction to the Backrooms found footage tomorrow. 45-minute video might turn out to be an hour because of how much I'm probably going to want to dive into it. And then I will be caught up and then we'll move to the Otis view while we wait on this series to finish. All right. Appreciate the patience you guys been showing and demonstrating with me as I make my way through this. Dave's out.